Hello everybody, this is Miller Rhodes, and what I wanted to talk to you about today was a book that I'm reading called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and it's by a guy named Harv Eker. Now, the reason I'm reading this book is because there's this guy named Vic, and Vic's been making money on the internet for a while. But in my primary business, which is something called the Empower Network, he earned something like $1.5 million in like a 3-month period. Now, you know, income disclosure, that doesn't mean that you'll get those results. It doesn't mean I'll get those results. But he basically told us that there were 3 books that we absolutely had to read, and that was one of them. So I went to this event in Chicago, because Empower Network has these events, and they're real uplifting, they're real motivational, you learn a lot of stuff. And so I figure if I'm gonna be wealthy, I need to model the behavior of wealthy people. And he said that book and these other 2 books, Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, I think was one of them, Start With Why, and I forget who the author is, but Start With Why is a pretty unique title. He said that those 3 books were must-reads, and so I figured if I was going to emulate his results, then I should read those 3 books. Now, you know, I'm basically making this video for you today. When I was thinking about making this video, I basically said, you know what, I'm not going to cut anything. I'm just gonna talk about whatever comes to my mind, and video is where it's at. If we want the people that we're communicating with to get to know us, what motivates us, see that we're someone that they want to be in business with, that's going in a direction that they want to go in, video is one of the most effective ways of communicating. And see, I want you to feel like you can just turn on your camera, your webcam, or your camera that you got from the store or wherever, and be able to basically communicate with people. Yeah, just like you're talking to a friend. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of strange sitting here looking at the camera, but you just have to, you know, don't be afraid to say, maybe, you know, the uncomfortable silence. See, you know, sometimes you just have to sit and think about what you're going to talk about. Now, what I want to talk to you about today really is in Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, what Harv Eker basically contends is that wealthy people think differently than poor and even middle-class people think. And what he says is that every one of us has what's called a money blueprint. It's basically a set of attitudes and behaviors around money that most of us got from experiences we had as children and young adults. Like, there was an example he gave of a person who, their parents were really frugal, like wouldn't spend money on anything. And so this person, when they reached adulthood, they were so tired of just scrimping and being frugal and not spending money on anything, they were totally frivolous. They just bought expensive stuff, racked up tons of debt. Basically as a boomerang effect to a behavior by their parents which really was unhealthy too. See, you can save money steadily, you can accumulate wealth by increasing what's called your net worth. And your net worth is really, you know, how much money do you have in the bank? How many assets do you have? Assets are things that accumulate, you know, that increase in value over time. Real estate is a great asset. Your car, no matter how nice it is not an asset. It depreciates in value. Basically, you know, the moment you drive it off the lot, it decreases in value. You know, let alone, you know, when someone scratches it or you get a door dinger or whatever, right? So he says every one of us has this money blueprint, And he said even him, as an educated, reasonably successful guy, he could not seem to make any money in the stock market. And what he realized is, a long time ago when his money blueprint was screwed up, it was actually undermining his ability to pick good stocks. I mean, even at that level, even with all the studying he did and all the attempts he made to get good at investing in stocks, he just couldn't seem to make money in the stock market. And what's great is he does these seminars around the country, and he helps us to rebuild and reestablish our money blueprint so we can begin to accumulate wealth. Wealthy people always look at things a particular way. They're always when they got a dollar in their hand, they're always thinking, okay, what can I do with this dollar to make me two? Whereas, and let me just stop for a second, whether you consider yourself to be poor or middle class, or maybe you're even already on your way to becoming wealthy, forget about all of that, because we're not here to blame, justify, or complain. And by the way, blaming, justifying, and complaining are attributes that will not make you rich. In fact, if you blame other people, justify or rationalize the reasons why you haven't had success, or complain all the time, you will not attract wealth. That's just how it is. And people who continue with those behaviors will continue not being rich. Also, becoming rich is not easy. And it takes commitment. But also I want to tell you that you have the ability to be rich if you just change your mindset and your behaviors in some tangible ways. And I know that probably when you've been watching other videos, or you've read the emails that you get, people tell you that, they're going to help you crack the code, or they've cracked the code, or whatever. And, they tell you, oh, well, just go do this. And you're sitting there scratching your head and you're like, okay, this guy's making 10 grand or 100 grand a month or whatever he's making, and I'm still not getting what he's doing. He's telling me to do this. And so a couple of things that I want to do as I'm communicating with you over time is I want to try to give you what's called technical knowledge, which really just means step-by-step instructions, because I can do it in a video and then people can play it over and over again, and you can pause it and rewind it and take it at your own pace. But the way I can get 30 or 50 leads in a day, I'm gonna do some videos where I'll show you step-by-step how to go to the same sources I do and do that kind of thing, because I know how to do that now. And then there are some things that you have to have worked some 18-hour days, been through the ringer a little bit in order to finally grasp those concepts. The people who are making a lot of money now, all of them at some point in time went through a period of struggle, or went through a period where they were just working all the time and didn't seem to be producing any results. But the truth of the matter is that most people give up too easy, give up too soon. Now, if you're in a company and the company goes out of business, or you realize that it really is illegal, or nobody's making any money, then chances are maybe you've chosen the wrong thing. But let me tell you something, there are some good opportunities out there, and if you know you're in the right opportunity, then all you got to do is just keep plugging away day by day and don't give up. Keep learning, doing, and even teaching. And you may not even think you have anything to teach, but we all have something to teach. And once you've learned something, the best way to learn it even better and retain it even better is to teach other people. So really, to get back to basically what I was talking about, rich people will look at a particular situation, will look at a particular problem, and they will perceive it a lot more times as an opportunity, more so than a poor or a middle class person. And whether you consider yourself poor, middle class, or maybe even a few of you are already wealthy, I'm not here to point the finger and put a label on you. You can classify yourself, you know, wherever you are. I mean, middle class, we can't go where we want to do when we want to do. You know, if a person's middle class, maybe you're a little comfortable, but still not that freedom, that level of freedom that wealthy people have. So, you know, figure out where you are right now, and then what you're going to want to do is rebuild your mindset a day at a time. There was a lady who all she had was $1, and one of the things taught in this book is that you have to have an account that's your accumulation account. Savings for the long term, an account to invest out of, an account to pay your bills out of, and he explains it all in the book. It's about, I think, all of your money gets divided up into about 5 or 6 different accounts, but each has a different purpose that's going to help you, one, to enjoy your life, because you'll have a play account, but when that money's spent, you don't spend anymore. And then you're going to have an account you pay your bills out of. That's going to be probably most of your money. But then you're going to have an account that you have money that you put into things that are going to make you more money. Maybe it's money put towards being in some sort of network marketing or leveraged opportunity. Maybe it's investing in stocks. You go read some books and get good at that. Maybe it's you know, investing in real estate or something like that. He's basically going to begin to rebuild our mindset by talking about things like that. So what I want you to do is I want you to get this book. The most common attribute probably shared between all highly successful people and pretty much most rich people is that they all read. You don't have to have formal education, but you need information, you need education, wherever it comes from, in order to get further. You don't have to have a piece of paper, but you have to consume information and utilize specialized information in order to get to where you want to go. And here's another thing. I'm not going to tell you what you need to do. That's not the appropriate wording. I would recommend that you do these things because they've been highly effective for people who are having more success than I am. They've been highly effective for me in the success that I am having, and I think it'll be highly effective for you. So go get Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harv Eker. That's my recommendation. Most, you know, easy read, bang for your buck. Read it with your friends, have discussions about it, write about it. Psycho-Cybernetics, which I'll talk about down the road. I'm just starting to read that book, and then start with Why. Good books to get. You have to start, you want to start rebuilding yourself from the inside. There are going to be some things that you do to become that person that's making $1,000 or 200, an extra $200 or $10,000 a month, whatever your goals are. There's going to be some building, some fortifying on the inside. And then what happens is, as you're building and fortifying and improving yourself on the inside, you begin to act and behave and do things that will lead to you making more money, having more prosperity, doing the kinds of things that people do who make more money and have more prosperity. So, thanks a lot for sharing a little time with me today, and I will be back with you with a video tomorrow. This is Miller. I'll see you later.